Thank you for joining us for the third episode of Small Business and AI. So, as you can tell by the name, in this series, we're looking at small businesses and the ways we can streamline our processes using CollabAI. So, as a small business, what are some of the biggest challenges? Today, we're going to look at three such. Today, we're going to cover customer support, a little bit of internal communication and task management, as well as content creation. So let's take a brief overview of CollabAI. I'm sure by now you guys are well accustomed to CollabAI, but for anyone new joining, CollabAI is a multi-provider chat. And what that means is that through this one website, you're able to access 4 different LLMs. So far, we have ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and DeepSeek. You're able to interchange between these 4 LLMs and use the LLM you feel most comfortable with. For the purposes of this demo, we are going to use ChatGPT. So let's look at some ways we can work with data. Because the more and more we use AI, the more we'll see that it's really a game of having data and creating something more with that data. So, where are some of the places we can get data? Let's look at some internal task management and streamline some of the work there. So, let's say I had a meeting earlier this morning, and what I'll do is I'll go get the transcripts of the meeting from wherever I had the meeting on. So usually it'll be Zoom, and with Zoom, you're able to log into your account, get your transcription, and you're good to go. So I will paste in some meeting notes. As you guys can see, this is a meeting that I've had earlier. I'll add in just a little bit more contextual information, such as the meeting title, date, participants. So now here we can see I've typed in our meeting transcript. And the reason we do this is so that we give ChatGPT or CollabAI or whichever LLM, you're giving it the context that you're then going to ask it for information for. So for this, we can ask for things such as, hey, I was in this meeting earlier. Can you create action items based off these transcripts? Okay, so as you can see, we've taken the data from this meeting, and now CollabAI has formatted it in a perfect way so that you can know what it is, which these are the action items. You'll know who each item belongs to, and then you'll have the contents of the action item. So maybe this doesn't look that great. So let's make an addition to it. And just like that, we can see we now have due dates for each of these action items. So just in this process, we can see the amount of time that we saved. We were able to get the meeting notes. We were able to give the meeting notes to CollabAI and essentially generate action items. Once we reviewed the action items, we decided that we needed just a little bit more detail. So we've asked CollabAI to provide the action items with their due dates. And so you can see right here, you have now been given the due dates. And this is just one way to work with data using our platform. As you can see, you can put in any sort of meeting notes that you have, and any insights that you wish to gain, you will be able to gain it through CollabAI. So now that we have that, what other business-related things can we use it for? So let's look at data and analytics. Let's say I have a YouTube channel, and I will tell CollabAI, hey, I will feed you some analytic information. Please don't reply until I have said. Nice. Now we've primed CollabAI to understand that it needs to wait. And all I'm doing is copy and pasting some overview metrics from my YouTube channel. Theoretical YouTube channel. So nice. So as you can see, I've copied and pasted this directly from YouTube, and CollabAI has gone through the effort of rearranging it in a more aesthetically pleasing manner. And I'm not done. I have some more data that I need to. And now, as you can see, it looks a little bit more jumbled up. Let's see if CollabAI is able to clean this data up a little bit more. And just like that, we see that CollabAI was able to parse through the data and then clean it up and present it in a more easy to understand way. Okay, now that it has this data, we can ask it questions. Let's ask it something. So, using this data, I want to know which video type has the best retention or highest CTR. And just like that, you'll see that best retention is for Solo Hike in Norway, episode 1, with a retention rate of 52%. And highest CTR goes to the same video with a CTR of 8.2%. So, as you can see, we've given CollabAI the data, and now we can ask it any number of questions and essentially transform our data to do more than it's capable of doing just by itself. Once CollabAI has this information, you can even ask it things like, audience segments driving engagement. And as you can see, we've been given this data in a way that's very easy to understand, and we can also see that CollabAI has provided recommendations on how to get these numbers up. And just like that, you're able to now work with data and essentially do whatever your imagination allows you to do, and just by using CollabAI. Now that we've worked with some of this data, let's take a look at our final thing. And that could be both internal and external outreach. So let's take the example of, well, let's redo it. So this is the meeting notes from earlier that we were using. So I've told CollabAI that this is my meeting from earlier, and I will ask questions and ask you to form outreach emails based on such. So let's do something simple. Want to And just like that, you can see I've only given it the meeting notes. So from the meeting notes, I asked it, can you create an introductory outreach message for Atlas project to let my stakeholders know the updates so far? And as you can see, it's formatted in email. Subject, Project Atlas updates, kickoff discussion summary. From here, we see that it's addressed to the team and it's provided the key highlights. It's given the dates and timeframes, as well as created the entire thing with my email signature. So if I really needed to, I could easily just copy and paste this, and I can send it out via email to whoever is one of the stakeholders. And just like this, you'll see that something like this, if you were to create it by hand, it would take you anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. And we have just now done it on this webinar in under 2 minutes. So as you can see, once you have the data, you are able to do so much with it. It's all depends on you and the limitations you set on yourself. Thanks for joining episode 3 of the Small Business Series. This has been George Baroy, and I'll see you next week.